You've heard of Alexander the Great, his conquests, the mark he left on the world. He wanted the whole world, and he wasn't afraid to go and get it. In this video, we will talk about his monumental life, covering important chapters like his early life and education, his campaign of Persia, cutting the Gordian Knot, his leadership and military strategy, the conquest of India, significance of the City of Alexandria, his legacy and impact, his personal life, and philosophical beliefs. To understand the man who would conquer the known world, we must begin at the beginning, his formative years. Alexander was born in 356 BCE in the ancient city of Pella, which was part of the Kingdom of Macedonia. He was the son of King Philip II of Macedon and Queen Olympias. His birthright was a royal one, and from the outset, he was destined to inherit a kingdom. Yet, little could anyone have predicted that this child would one day become a legend known throughout history. The primary historical source for much of Alexander's early life is Ptolemy, one of his most trusted generals and closest friends. Ptolemy's account offers a glimpse into the formative years of the future conqueror. According to Ptolemy, Alexander displayed remarkable qualities from a young age. He was precocious, showing an early interest in literature, music, and the arts. His intelligence was evident, and he possessed an insatiable curiosity about the world. Alexander's mother, Queen Olympias, was no ordinary woman. She hailed from the land of Epirus, where ancient traditions and mysticism held sway. It is believed that Olympias instilled in her son a sense of divinity and destiny. She introduced him to the idea that he was the son of the god Zeus Ammon, which would become a recurring theme in his life. In 343 BCE, when Alexander was just 13 years old, a momentous event occurred that would leave an indelible mark on his life. Aristotle, the great philosopher and student of Plato, arrived in the court of Pella. King Philip, recognizing the need for a first-class education for his son, invited Aristotle to be Alexander's tutor. This decision would shape the young prince's mind in profound ways. Aristotle, known for his systematic approach to learning, introduced Alexander to a comprehensive curriculum that encompassed a wide range of subjects. Under Aristotle's guidance, Alexander was exposed to philosophy, literature, politics, and the sciences. His education extended beyond the classroom, as Aristotle accompanied him on hunting trips and shared philosophical discussions during their journeys. Alexander's education placed great emphasis on the works of classical Greek authors. He was particularly drawn to the writings of Homer, especially the Iliad. The epic tale of heroes, gods, and warriors had a profound impact on the young prince, who identified strongly with the heroic figures of the story. He saw himself as a hero destined for greatness. Aristotle also instilled in Alexander the importance of ethical values and virtues. The philosopher emphasized the concept of virtue, encouraging Alexander to pursue excellence in all aspects of life. Aristotle's lessons on ethics, leadership, and the importance of balance and self-control would prove invaluable as Alexander matured into a commander and statesman. Aristotle's teachings expanded Alexander's worldview. He introduced the young prince to the philosophical ideas of Plato, as well as his own concepts of metaphysics, ethics, and politics. Under Aristotle's tutelage, Alexander developed a strong sense of duty, which would later shape his vision of leadership and the role of a ruler. As Alexander grew older, Aristotle focused on preparing him for the responsibilities of leadership. Alexander's understanding of statecraft, governance, and diplomacy deepened under his tutor's guidance. These lessons would become crucial as he ascended to the throne of Macedonia after his father's assassination. While the intellectual aspects of his education were vital, Alexander was also trained for the physical and martial demands of his future role as a military leader. Under the guidance of his father, King Philip, he received rigorous training in the art of war. This training, combined with Aristotle's teachings, would create a unique blend of intellectual and martial prowess that set Alexander apart. Alexander's early years were not without challenges. His mother Olympias and his father King Philip had a tumultuous relationship, which eventually led to their separation. Alexander's father married another woman, and this change in his family dynamic likely had a significant impact on the young prince. Furthermore, the assassination of King Philip when Alexander was just 20 years old catapulted him to the throne sooner than expected. These early challenges taught Alexander the unpredictability of life and the importance of adaptability. He learned that change was inevitable and that true greatness lay in one's response to adversity. This lesson would prove invaluable as he faced the trials and tribulations of his military campaigns and leadership. Alexander's early years were a complex tapestry of influences, values, and lessons. From his royal birth and upbringing in the court of Pella to his transformative education under Aristotle, these formative experiences shaped the character of the man who would become the Great. The conquest of the Persian Empire was a transformative epic in world history, a testament to the audacious ambition and indomitable spirit of Alexander the Great. However, it was not without its costs and controversies, leaving behind a legacy of both conquest and complexity. To grasp the magnitude of Alexander's endeavor, one must first fathom the sheer size and complexity of the Persian Empire. Under the rule of King Darius III, the Persian Empire extended from the Aegean Sea to the Indus River, enveloping a diverse tapestry of peoples, cultures, and landscapes. It was an empire of legendary wealth and resources, rendering it a formidable adversary and an unparalleled prize for any conqueror. The stage was set for one of history's most iconic military clashes in 333 BCE at the Battle of Issus. Here Alexander faced off against the Persian king, Darius III, near the town of Issus in modern-day Turkey. The battle was a symphony of bold maneuvers and daring tactics. Alexander, leading a smaller force, relied on his meticulously trained companion cavalry and innovative strategies to gain the upper hand. Alexander's army employed the renowned phalanx formation, with the elite companion cavalry playing a pivotal role in securing victory. The turning point of the battle came with Darius's tactical blunders, including the ill-fated decision to engage Alexander head-on, resulting in a chaotic and catastrophic rout. The personal valor and adaptability displayed by Alexander on the battlefield were fundamental to his success. Following the Battle of Issus, Alexander turned his attention to the coastal city of Tyre, a siege that lasted an astounding 7 months. The Siege of Tyre showcased not only his unyielding determination, but also his ingenious approach to overcoming formidable challenges. Tyre was a maritime fortress that seemed impregnable, but Alexander's visionary strategy included the construction of an awe-inspiring causeway to reach the island's city. The Siege of Tyre provides invaluable insights into Alexander's adaptability, engineering skills, and indomitable commitment to his goals. Alexander's campaign led him to Egypt, where he was welcomed as a liberator from Persian rule. His conquest of Egypt and his founding of the City of Alexandria marked a critical turning point in his mission. The Egypt campaign was characterized by a blend of military prowess and diplomacy, as well as the integration of Egyptian culture into his burgeoning empire. The Battle of Gaugamela, fought in 331 BCE, was the crescendo of Alexander's efforts to confront Darius and claim the Persian throne. This monumental clash took place near the village of Gaugamela and would ultimately determine the fate of the Persian Empire. Alexander and Darius both conceived intricate battle strategies, with the success of Alexander's tactics hinging on their precise execution. The battle witnessed the seamless coordination of cavalry and infantry, with Alexander personally leading his forces to secure victory. The aftermath of the battle witnessed Darius fleeing the field, solidifying Alexander's claim to the Persian throne. After his victory at Gaugamela, Alexander continued his relentless advance into the heart of the Persian Empire. The illustrious city of Persepolis, symbolic of Persian grandeur, capitulated to his forces in 330 BCE. The sacking of Persepolis remains a contentious point in Alexander's legacy, and this chapter navigates its significance, as well as his motivations. To comprehend Alexander's astounding success, we must dissect the strategies that underpinned his conquests. Alexander's army was renowned for its rapidity and agility, enabling swift campaigns and the element of surprise. His capacity to adapt to varied terrains and climates, from the deserts of Egypt to the mountains of Persia, was a pivotal advantage. Alexander's personal leadership on the battlefield, combined with innovative tactics, consistently secured his victories. He effectively integrated conquered territories and peoples into his empire, blending cultures and fostering loyalty. The Gordian Knot, nestled in the city of Gordium in Phrygia, was not an ordinary knot, but a mythical one. According to Phrygian legend, it had been fashioned by King Gordius, who declared that the one who could untie this intricate knot would rule all of Asia. The knot, constructed of cornel bark, was said to be so complex that no one had successfully unraveled it for centuries. In 333 BCE, as Alexander and his army advanced through Asia Minor, they reached the city of Gordium. The legend of the Gordian Knot was well known, and Alexander's arrival posed a significant question. Would he be the one to fulfill the prophecy? The young conqueror, known for his daring decisions, faced the legendary knot and its enigmatic challenge. Upon encountering the Gordian Knot, Alexander initially attempted to unravel it in the conventional manner, as the legend dictated. However, faced with the complexity and apparent impossibility of the task, he made an audacious decision. Rather than wasting more time in fruitless efforts, he drew his sword and in one bold stroke, cut the Gordian Knot. This unconventional act was one of defiance against tradition and an assertion of his own destiny. In the wake of this dramatic act, Alexander had effectively untied the Gordian Knot. The fulfillment of the Gordian prophecy had, in essence, declared him the ruler of Asia. This bold stroke not only had symbolic significance, but also practical implications, as it signaled his claim to the vast Persian Empire. The story of Alexander and the Gordian Knot carries profound symbolism. Alexander's decision to cut the knot, rather than unraveling it as prescribed, symbolized his willingness to defy conventional wisdom and establish norms. It underlined his determination to control his own fate, regardless of tradition or prophecy. The act exemplified Alexander's audacity and his readiness to take bold and unconventional measures to achieve his objectives. It was a reflection of his larger-than-life ambition and his unyielding drive. By cutting the knot, Alexander was not merely unraveling an enigma, he was seizing his destiny. This act signaled his aspiration to conquer Asia and his belief in his own ability to achieve it. The Gordian Knot has since become a symbol of intricate problems or challenges that appear insurmountable. The story of Alexander has been invoked as a reminder that sometimes a bold and unorthodox approach can be the key to success. Alexander's leadership style was a unique blend of charisma, daring, and an unwavering commitment to his vision. His ability to lead extended far beyond the battlefield, encompassing both strategic and interpersonal aspects. At the core of Alexander's leadership was his grand vision, the desire to unite the known world under a single empire. This vision served as a unifying force, rallying his troops behind a common purpose and a shared destiny. Alexander possessed an extraordinary charisma that inspired devotion. His magnetic presence and the way he carried himself on and off the battlefield motivated his soldiers to follow him unquestioningly. Alexander was not a distant commander, but a leader who led from the front. His personal courage and valor on the battlefield set a standard for his soldiers to emulate, reinforcing the notion that he was not asking them to do anything he wouldn't do himself. While Alexander had a vision, he was not rigid in his approach. He demonstrated a remarkable adaptability, which enabled him to make informed decisions based on changing circumstances, terrain, and the strengths and weaknesses of his enemies. Alexander maintained open lines of communication with his officers and troops. His ability to convey his strategic vision, delegate responsibilities, and foster a sense of inclusion within his army contributed to its unity and effectiveness. The loyalty Alexander inspired among his soldiers is legendary and central to his success. This loyalty stemmed from several key factors. Alexander's dream of a united world empire was embraced by his troops. They believed in his vision and felt that they were part of something momentous. Alexander's personal courage on the battlefield earned him the respect and admiration of his soldiers. They saw him as a true leader who faced danger alongside them. Alexander was generous with rewards and recognition. He redistributed wealth from conquered territories, offered promotions, and provided opportunities for his soldiers to distinguish themselves. This ensured that his army was not only loyal, but also motivated. Alexander fostered a sense of camaraderie among his troops. They ate and slept in the same conditions, and he often dined with his soldiers, breaking down hierarchical barriers and reinforcing the idea that they were a united force. Alexander's army was composed of men from diverse backgrounds and cultures. He promoted an environment of inclusivity, encouraging his soldiers to see past their differences and view each other as comrades in arms. Alexander developed personal relationships with many of his soldiers, learning their names and stories. This personal touch created a bond of trust and loyalty. By 326 BCE, Alexander's empire stretched from Greece to Egypt, encompassing Persia and the northwestern regions of the Indian subcontinent. His desire to venture into India was fueled by ambition and the tales of unimaginable wealth and wonders in the east. The crossing of the mighty Indus River marked the inception of his Indian campaign, a chapter laden with strategic brilliance and formidable obstacles. The Battle of Hydaspes was the pinnacle of Alexander's Indian campaign, where he confronted the formidable King Porus of Paurava, a kingdom in the Punjab region. King Porus, a respected and fearless leader, commanded a substantial army, including war elephants that posed a new and formidable challenge to Alexander's forces. To set the stage for the battle, Alexander needed to cross the Hydaspes River. He exhibited remarkable engineering skills by constructing a fleet of boats, enabling a surprise river crossing and allowing him to choose the battlefield. At the Battle of Hydaspes, Alexander showcased his tactical brilliance. He identified a gap in Porus's formation and led a swift and devastating cavalry charge, breaking the enemy lines. However, the war elephants remained a source of trepidation for his soldiers. Alexander's solution to the war elephants was brilliant. He created corridors in his formation to allow the elephants to pass harmlessly through, preventing them from disrupting his phalanx. King Porus fought valiantly and refused to surrender even when captured. Impressed by his adversary's courage, Alexander not only spared Porus's life, but also restored him as a vassal ruler. The Battle of Hydaspes was a testament to Alexander's military genius, but it also marked the furthest extent of his empire. His troops, exhausted and homesick, were increasingly resistant to further conquests. Alexander's Indian campaign was fraught with multifaceted challenges that tested his mettle and the endurance of his army. India offered diverse and unfamiliar terrain, from dense jungles to arid plains, challenging the mobility of Alexander's army. Moreover, the scorching Indian climate and monsoon rains posed significant challenges. The Macedonians had never encountered war elephants in their previous conquests. These massive creatures, armored and armed, were a source of terror for the Macedonian soldiers. India presented fierce resistance from regional kings and warrior culture. Attempts to impose Macedonian rule were met with widespread rebellion and opposition. The relentless campaigning, spanning over a decade, had taken a toll on Alexander's troops. They were far from home, and many were plagued by homesickness and fatigue. Mutinies and dissent became increasingly common. Alexander's vision of assimilating Eastern and Western cultures faced resistance in India. The Indians had their own rich traditions and were not eager to embrace foreign rule. After reaching the Beas River, the Indian campaign took its toll on both Alexander and his army. His homesick and battle-weary troops mutinied, refusing to go further into the unknown. Alexander had no choice but to turn back. Although Alexander's Indian campaign did not result in the full conquest of India, it expanded the knowledge of the Western world about the subcontinent. His journey opened up valuable trade routes and cultural exchange. The Battle of Hydaspes remains a testament to Alexander's tactical brilliance, proving his adaptability in unfamiliar conditions. The Indian campaign also demonstrated the limits of Alexander's empire. It was a sobering lesson that even a military genius like him could not overcome the physical and emotional exhaustion of his troops. Alexander's interactions with Indian cultures paved the way for cultural exchange, ultimately shaping the course of history. Alexander's campaign in India remains a historical enigma, an unfinished chapter in the life of a man who had previously conquered empires with ease. Cities hold the footprints of history, shaped by the vision and ambition of leaders and conquerors. Few conquerors have left a more indelible mark on the map than Alexander the Great. In his wake, he left a multitude of cities, many of which bear his name, Alexandrias. This narrative explores the founding and significance of these cities, with a particular focus on Alexandria in Egypt. These cities, products of ambition and innovation, played a pivotal role in disseminating Greek culture and knowledge across the ancient world. Alexander's conquests spanned vast territories, from Greece to India. His relentless march reshaped the political landscape of antiquity. Along the way, he founded numerous cities, each a testament to his vision and strategic acumen. For Alexander, city founding was more than a matter of territorial expansion. It was a strategic tool for securing conquered territories, fostering Greek culture, and establishing centers of trade and administration. The cities named after Alexander typically possessed common features, including a grid-based layout, a central acropolis, and a dedication to fostering Greek culture from language to religion. Founded by Alexander in 331 BCE, Alexandria in Egypt emerged as one of the most significant Alexandrias. Its strategic location on the Mediterranean coast, near the Nile Delta, made it a key center for commerce, culture, and learning. One of the city's most famous institutions was the Great Library, a repository of knowledge from across the ancient world. It attracted scholars, scientists, and philosophers, making it an intellectual epicenter. Another iconic feature of Alexandria was the Pharos Lighthouse, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Its construction was a marvel of engineering and guided mariners safely into the city's bustling harbor. Alexandria became a melting pot of cultures and religions. The blending of Egyptian, Greek, and other traditions contributed to its rich cultural tapestry. Situated at the confluence of the Oxus and Jaxartes rivers, this Alexandria served as a hub for trade and cultural exchange. Alexander's most profound impact was in spreading Hellenistic culture across the vast swaths of territory he conquered. The Greek language became a lingua franca, fostering communication and the exchange of ideas. Greek art and architecture left their mark on conquered lands, leading to a fusion of diverse artistic traditions. The amalgamation of Greek culture with indigenous customs and beliefs produced unique syncretic cultures. This blend manifested in art, religion, and philosophy, creating a rich tapestry of diversity. The Roman emperors, from Julius Caesar to Augustus, drew inspiration from Alexander's exploits. His strategies, vision, and empire-building efforts influenced their own ambitions. Napoleon, the Corsican conqueror, saw himself as an heir to Alexander's legacy. His military strategies, particularly the concept of the man on the white horse, drew from the legend of Alexander. Alexander's empire was divided among his generals after his death, leading to the creation of several Hellenistic successor states. These states continued to shape the Hellenistic world and maintain the cultural legacy of Alexander. To comprehend the essence of Alexander, one must unravel the tapestry of his relationships, which shaped his character and worldview. The towering influence of Alexander's father, Philip II, on his early life cannot be overstated. Lessons in statecraft, leadership, and military strategy were imparted by his father and laid the foundation for his later conquests. Hephaestion, a childhood friend and fellow student of Aristotle, became Alexander's closest companion. Their friendship was so profound that upon Hephaestion's untimely death, Alexander mourned as if he had lost a part of his own soul. The unwavering bond between Alexander and his horse Bucephalus, which he tamed as a youth, symbolized his extraordinary ability to connect with beings, whether human or animal. Alexander's relationships with his mother, Olympias, and his half-sister/wife Cleopatra were complex and deeply intertwined with his quest for power and legacy. Marriage was a powerful tool of statecraft in Alexander's era, and he used it strategically to form alliances and consolidate his rule. The marriage of Alexander to Roxana, a Bactrian noblewoman, was a political move to fortify his rule in the eastern territories. Their union marked a significant fusion of Greek and Bactrian cultures. Alexander married several Persian noblewomen, including Statera, Barsine, and Roxane. These unions were not merely political, but also symbolized his efforts to bridge the cultural gap between Greeks and Persians. Alexander's adoption of Persian dress and customs, along with the inclusion of Persian nobles in his court, showcased his commitment to ruling a multicultural empire. The foundations of Alexander's intellectual pursuits were established during his formative years, thanks to his education under Aristotle. Aristotle, one of history's most renowned philosophers, served as Alexander's tutor during his adolescence. Under Aristotle's guidance, Alexander developed a deep appreciation for philosophy, science, and literature. Alexander's interest in philosophy was not confined to the academic realm. He carried Aristotle's teachings with him throughout his conquests, often consulting his former tutor through letters. Aristotle's emphasis on reason, ethics, and the pursuit of knowledge resonated in Alexander's approach to leadership. Aristotle's emphasis on ethics left a lasting impression on Alexander. He aspired to be an ethical leader, often displaying a sense of justice, empathy, and fairness in his dealings with subjects and enemies. Alexander's patronage of scholars and the establishment of libraries, most notably the Great Library of Alexandria, underscored his commitment to the pursuit of knowledge. This legacy lives on in the form of intellectual institutions. Alexander the Great was more than a conqueror. He was a complex individual whose life was shaped by remarkable relationships, strategic marriages, and a profound interest in philosophy. His interactions with Aristotle and the lessons he drew from philosophy played a pivotal role in his leadership, making him not just a military genius, but a philosopher king who sought to unite the known world. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like if you found value in this video. Leave a comment of which conqueror you want to see next and subscribe for more content like this.